In this Cypress tutorial, we are going to see how to implement page object model design pattern in the Cypress automation framework. So let's understand why POM is required, why page object model is required in the Cypress automation framework. For example, if you look at the below diagram, in the line number 7, we have added the one selector, and in the line number 11, line number 13, 15, and so on. And if you look at the selectors, right, so we are adding the selectors manually in the automation test only. So suddenly tomorrow developer comes and changes to the DOM. What happens? So all the DOM elements and tag details and attributes will be getting changed, right? So in that case, if you are having 100 automation tests, so you need to go through all the 100 automation tests and you need to update all these locators manually. So that will be a very tedious task for maintaining and managing the automation test. So that's the reason you need to use the page object model design pattern in the Cypress automation testing. So let's understand what is page object model first. So page object model is a design pattern to create a object repository for the web page elements. And for each web page, there will be a corresponding page class, and page class contains the all the web page elements of that particular page, and also it contains the methods which will perform the action on the web page elements. Say for example, we have the login page. So in that login page, so we have the username, password, and login button. So all these three elements will be stored in the single page called login page. And if I want to log in into the application, so I will be creating a simple method that will enter the username, password, and it will click on the login button. So this everything will be done in a single page called login page. So like this, based on your applications, you need to create a respective page classes, and you need to store all the web page elements, and also you need to implement the all the abstraction methods in the same page class. And coming to the advantages of using the page object model. So code will be more cleaner, and also it is easy to understand. And page object repository is independent of the automation test. And the third advantages of using the POM. So test script will be optimized because we have the abstraction methods in the page classes. And coming to the disadvantages of POM, that's the disadvantages of page object model: time and effort. And the second one is it is specific to the particular project. Say for example, I have implemented a page object model for the one of the project. So I cannot use that page object model in the other project. So that's the another disadvantage of using the page object model. Now let's look at the sample page object model pages and test how exactly it looks like in the Cypress automation framework. So if you look at the folder structure, so we have created a one folder called pages. Inside that, we have created a three JS file. One is homepage.js, second one is playlist page.js, and third page we have created result page.js. And also we have created a one sample page object model test here. And let's look at the skeleton of the page object model page. So this is a typical any page looks like. So here we have created a class called homepage, and inside that we are adding the elements which has the all the elements. And if you look at in the line number 8 and line number 12, so these are the two abstraction methods for the home page. So like this you can create a number of pages in the your project. And at the end we are using the model.exports, and we are assigning the current page object. So whenever I'm using this particular class in the, say for example, we have to use this particular page in the automation test. So simply I'm importing this particular home page, and this will returns me the object of the current page. So if I go down a little bit down, so here we have the sample page object model test here. So here we are importing the all the pages. And if you see here, by using the home page or result page, or by using the playlist page, so these are the reference variables. By using these reference variables, we are calling to the respective methods. If you look at in the line number 10, line number 13. So these are the some reference variables. By using the reference variables, simply we are calling to the respective page abstraction methods. And at the end, we are validating whether playlist title is same or not. So this is how you can create the page object model approach in the Cypress automation testing. So let's quickly look at the practical example of the page object model in the Cypress automation framework. Let's discuss the manual scenario first, and we will come back here and we will create all the pages, and also we will create the page object automation test. The manual scenario is very simple. So we are navigating to the youtube.com, and here we will search with the API testing by tester stock. Then we will get the one playlist, and we need to click on that particular playlist. And after that, once we go inside the playlist, we have to validate the playlist title. So in this scenario, right, so we have to create total 3 pages. One is, so this is a home page, and here I'm searching with the API testing by testers talk. So this is the result page, and in this result page we need to click on the API testing by testers talk, and that's it. And here we have to validate the title of this particular playlist. So now I will go back to the VS Code, and here we will create the first pages. So here I'm adding a one folder called pages, and inside the pages folder I'm adding 3 JS files. First one is homepage.js, and second one is result page.js, and the third one is playlist page.js. So that's it, guys. We have created the all the 3 pages now. In this home page, so what we have to do is simply we have to search with the keywords, and in this result page we have to click on the playlist, and in the playlist page we have to simply validate the title of the playlist. Now let's create a simple test inside the E2E folder. So here I will select the new file, and here I'm adding the file name as page object tests.cy.js. That's it, guys. Now here I will add a simple test suite by using the describe keyword, and here I will add the test suite name as page object test suite, and here I will add the arrow function, and then I will open and close the flower brackets. So inside this describe block, I'm creating one test case by using the it block. So here we have to provide the test name. So here I'm adding the test name as page object test1, and followed by that I'm adding a function arrow here, or arrow function you can say. So that's it, guys. Now this is the test what we have created. So this is a simple skeleton of the test suite and test. And now, so here we are performing total 4 steps. In the first step, so we need to navigate to the YouTube. So here I'll say open YouTube, and then so we need to search with the keywords in the youtube.com, search in YouTube. So that's the second step, and we need to click on the playlist. So here I'll say go to playlist, and finally we are validating the playlist title. So that's it, guys. Now, so let's go to the very first page, that is called home page. So here I'm writing one class called home page. That's it. And inside this particular class, so first I will create the elements. Here I will add the elements variables, and here I will assign the all the elements to the elements variable here. So firstly, I will specify the variable name. So we want to firstly save the selector of this particular search text box, and then we want to click on the search icon. So here I'm creating total two variables. First one is search text box, and followed by that here I will say colon, and followed by that I will say the arrow function, and then here I'll say cy dot get, and inside the get we have to add the selector value. That's it, guys. And I will put the comma, and in the similar way we will add the another element called search icon. So here I will say the variable name is search icon. Now let's inspect the search text box, and we will add the selector value here, and also we will inspect the search icon and we will add the selector value over here. That's it. I will go back to the web page now, and I will inspect the element. So it has lots of attributes and values. I'm identifying this element by using the attribute as name. So name is equal to search query. So simply I will copy this particular attribute and value. So I will write attribute and value within the square brackets. So it is highlighting that particular search text box. So simply I will copy the selector and I will paste it inside the get method. Now let's do it similar way for the search icon also. I will inspect the search icon. So if you see here, so if I scroll a little bit up here, right? So we are finding the one button tag. So inside the button, we are having the YT hyphen icon. First, I will identify this particular button by using the ID, and I will focus on the next tag, that is YT hyphen icon. So I will copy this particular ID. So that is the search icon legacy. And in the XPath, I will add the hash followed by ID, and followed by that we want to specify the one tag name called YT hyphen icon. If you see here, so we are able to identify that particular element by using the ID followed by the tag name. Simply I will copy this selector and I will add it inside here. So that's it, guys. So we are done with identifying the elements. Now, so here I'm creating one simple method called search in YouTube. And inside this particular method, I will use all these elements. By using these elements, I will perform the action. So firstly here I'll say this. So this refers the current class variables, and followed by that I'm adding the elements. So that is nothing but elements, and dot. So here I'm using the very first element, that is the search text box. And so this is the method. So that's the reason I'm adding the method. So we, by using this particular search text box, we want to enter some data in the search text box. So that's the reason here I'm calling method called type. And here I will add the keyword. So here I'll say API testing by tester stock. That's it, guys. Now we need to click on the search icon. In the similar way, I will use the this keyword dot elements dot search icon, and followed by that simply I will add the action as click. I have the element, then I will perform the click operation. That's it, guys. So we are done with creating the elements and one abstraction method. So before that, we need to navigate to the this youtube.com. So that's the reason I'm adding another abstraction method inside the home page only. So here I'm adding the method name as visit, and inside the visit I'm using the Cypress command cy dot. I'm calling the method called visit. So let's add the URL here. So I will copy the URL and I'll add the URL over here. That's it, guys. So we are done with creating a class which has the elements and abstraction methods. Now at the end, what we have to do is, so we need to add the export option, which will return the current page class object. So here I'll say module dot exports, and here we have to assign the current class object. That's it, guys. So we are done with the very first page, that is a home page. So let's do it similarly for the result page and playlist page. So simply I will copy this whole skeleton and I'll paste it inside the result page and playlist page also. So I will come back to the result page first. So here I will rename the class name as result page, and then I will remove all these abstraction methods, and at the end I will specify the class name. So we are passing the current class page object. That's it, guys. So let's identify in the result page, what we have to do is, so we need to say, for example, if I search with API testing by tester stock. So here we are getting the playlist, right? So simply we have to click on this particular playlist. So that's the reason I will inspect this particular playlist. So if I inspect this particular playlist, so inside the span tag, we have multiple attributes and values. So here I'm using the title equal to API testing by tester stock. So I will simply take this attribute and value, and here I will go to the XPath or a CSS selector, and inside the square brackets I will add the attribute and value. So it is highlighting the API testing by tester stock playlist. So simply I will copy this particular selector and I will go back to the VS Code. So here I will simply delete the all this selector, and here I will add the in the result page I'm adding the variable name, that's a element name as playlist. So we are adding the playlist selector value. So simply I will add the playlist selector value over here. So in this result page, just we need to click on the this particular playlist. That's it, guys. So we have to implement one method, that is here I'll say go to playlist. So inside this particular go to playlist method, so here I will use this that refers to the current class and elements. Followed by that, I'm using the our selector playlist, and followed by that, simply we have to click on that particular playlist. So that's the reason here I'm calling the playlist, sorry, click method. After clicking on that particular playlist, so simply we have to validate the title of this particular playlist in the playlist page. So here I will go back to the our final page, that is a playlist page. So simply I will delete all this stuff, and here I will update the firstly class name as playlist page, and in the similar way I will return the current page object at the end of the class. And here simply we will inspect the element and we will add the locator over here, and here I will add the variable name as playlist title. That's it, guys. So let's inspect the playlist title. So simply I will inspect the playlist title and I will come over here. So if you look at this particular tag, right, so this is the anchor tag, and if I go a little bit up, so we are having the one div tag which has the header description. So simply I will use this ID, followed by that I will specify the h3 tag, and followed by that I will specify the YT formatted string tag, and then finally I will add the anchor tag. So here I will use the hash followed by the value and then greater than symbol. So here we have to add the h3. So if I hit enter, so right now it is highlighting the element, and followed by that simply I will copy the another tag which has the which is a subtag of the h3. So simply I will add the another tag name, and inside this tag we have the one anchor tag. And if you see here, so right now it is matching with one of one, and also it is highlighting the playlist name. So simply I will copy this particular selector. So we need to validate the this particular playlist title is correct or not. I will go back to the VS Code, and here I will add the selector. That's it, guys. So we are done with creating all the pages. First one we have created a home page. Second one we have created a result page. Third one we have created a playlist page. Now we need to utilize all these pages in the page object tests, right? So here I will go back to the page object tests. So firstly we need to import all the pages in the top of the JS file. So here I'll say import, followed by that here I will say the reference variable name. So here I'll say home page, and then followed by that you need to add the from keyword. In the single quotation, just add the two dots that refers to the current root folder. Followed by that, we have the E2E folder, and inside the E2E folder, we have the pages folder, and inside the pages folder, we have the homepage.js class. In the similar way, let's import the another two pages. So here I will say import, then I will say variable name as result page, and followed by that from. In the single quotation, I'm adding two dots, followed by that E2E and slash pages slash result page. Let me add the final import. So we will import the playlist page. So here I'll say playlist page, and then from. In the single quotation, I'm adding the path of the page class. So finally here we have to say playlist page. That's it, guys. So we have created all the pages, and we have imported all the pages in the our automation test in our automation test JS file. So by using the home page, so firstly we need to navigate to the YouTube. If I go to the home page, so here we have written a simple abstraction method, so which is navigating to the youtube.com. So that's the reason I'm using the reference variable of the home page, and here I'm saying visit. So this will go to the youtube.com, and after that we need to search for the keywords. So that abstraction method is implemented inside the home page only. So if you look at here, so here we have implemented one method called search in YouTube. So let's call this particular method by using the home page object dot search in YouTube. That's it. Now we need to click on the playlist, right? To click on the playlist, we need to use the result page. If you see the result page, so here we have implemented one method called go to playlist. So simply I will use the result page object, then here I'm calling method called go to playlist, and then finally we need to validate the title of the playlist. So we will add this step a little later. So let's validate the test whether it is working fine or not. Now I will go back to the our Cypress test runner, and I will refresh the page, and I'll come down, and we will select the JS file which we have created just now. If you see here, so we have the page object tests JS file. So let's verify the test, and we will add the validation. So right now tests are loading, so let's wait for some time. If you look at the test suite, right, so it has started executing the our test. So again it is got refreshed, it is reloading it. Firstly, it is navigated to the youtube.com. Then it has to search with the API testing by tester stock. So it started entering the keyword and also clicked on the search icon, and also it is going to the particular playlist, right? And also our test is getting passed. So let's verify this title is correct or not. So I will get the title first. I'll copy the title name and in the line number 19. So here I'm using the playlist page which has the our selector. If you look at the page, so this is where we have added the our selector. So by using this selector, we will get the element and we will validate with the expected value. So here I'm using the playlist page dot elements. Inside the elements, we have the playlist title. And then here I'm calling another method called should. So this will validate the text, that is the expected test and the actual test. In the single quotation, so here I'm adding have dot text, basically which will compare the actual and expected result. So here we are adding the expected result also, API testing by tester stock. So this is what the playlist name currently we have. So this time our test should get pass because actual and expected results are matching here. And next time we will pass the incorrect expected value. That time it will fail. So let's rerun the test. So it is started searching in the YouTube with the API testing by tester stock. It is navigated to the playlist. And also you can see our test is getting passed. And also our assertion is also getting passed. Now this time I will pass the incorrect expected value. So here I will say just API testing tester stock. So this time expected and actual value will be not matching and our test will get failed. So like this you can create n number of tests by using the page object model. So right now it is navigated to the youtube.com and it is searching with the API testing by tester stock. It is navigated to the playlist and finally here you can see that. So here we have the assertion failure and here you can see that. So there is a mismatch in the actual and expected value. So this is how you can create the page object model in the Cypress automation testing.